in previous lessons, we created sets, which can be useful for the definition of prerequisites in a validation or a substitution. But now we want to use another tool, which is really useful to speed up the definition of multiple validations and substitutions. And of course, we're referring to the rules. This is a really nice tool because we can use it if we know for a fact that some prerequisite is going to be checked in multiple substitutions and in multiple validation steps. Because if we choose to use this tool, then we only have to define once the conditions for the prerequisite check, and then we can use that definition multiple times in multiple validation steps and multiple substitutions. Actually, we can use them as many times as needed. And of course, we have another advantage because we can use the rules also to define these checks. Well, as we have been saying, for multiple steps in validations and in substitutions, but this tool will simplify the maintenance, right? Because, for example, if we have assigned this rule to 10 validations and 5 substitution steps, then if we need to modify something, we don't need to go like individually to the 10 validations and to the 5 substitutions. We can just edit the rule, and the impact will be immediate for all the for all the validations and all the substitutions. Interestingly enough, we have to create the rules in the same transaction in which we create, for example, the substitutions. So we will just open financial accounting. Let's open financial accounting global settings, tools, the validation and substitution section, and here we will start the substitution in accounting documents app. For the time being, we don't want to do anything here in the list of the company codes. So let's just come to environment substitution. And the first thing that we need to do is we have to select the line item section, because the rule will be for that check, for the checks at the line item level. And actually, so far we have only used like the new substitution or new step, but the one that we want for this lesson is the create new rule. So let's click on that one, create new rule. And of course, on the right hand side, we need to enter the ID and the description. So let's start with the ID. And well, a short description, just like combination. Okay, just because we will check with this rule, this combination. That again, we will use the. What's interesting, we will use the sets in the definition of the rule. So we are using all the additional tools that we have. So well, for the time being, let's just click enter, hit enter in our keyboard, so we get the full description correctly set up here. And actually, let's save it, just so that we can work better with the actual rule definition. So to continue, let's click rule definition. And then what we want is, well, first of all, we need to set the first is checking that we want to, the first condition of checking. So of course, this one is going to be on the GL accounts. So let's double click the structure BSEG. And from the list of possible fields, let's look for the GL account field. Okay, so here we have it, the table, the BSEG dash and the field HKONT. So of course, we just need to double click. And now we have it here in the formula editor. But now the next step is something different to what we have seen in the previous lessons, because of course here is where we will start using the set that we created in the previous lessons. So for this, we need to click in. So we will say like this GL account should be in this set. So actually to enter the set, we need to click here the set directory. And of course, well, now we have the pop-up that we can use to look for our set of data for the accounts. Let's use the match code. And well, of course, we can use the first letter, for example, the Z and an asterisk here. So that of the wildcard is the asterisk. So we can look for all the sets that start with Z. And once that we have entered this, we can just click continue. And from the list of sets, let's use the one that we created in the previous lessons, the SETI revenues set. So with the lines, just select the line and click copy. So of course we have the value here, and when we continue with that pop-up, we just click in our keyboard, we can press enter and just click continue. We will have the correct definition here, because we have that the GL account that the user is posting should be in this set. Now we will do something similar, but I mean, we have the other condition for the materials, and to add the second condition, we need to click and. So let's click that one. So both of the conditions should be fulfilled. And well, the next set was created on materials. So if you remember, well, we have to look for the ID, which is MATNR. So we have to look for this one here. Okay, BSCG MATNR, the material. So now we have that we have found this. Let's just double click. And now we again want to repeat the steps to add the set. So let's just click in, and let's click set directory. Of course, if you want, you could enter like individual values here, but that is not what we is not very useful, and it's more useful to use the set. So let's select the set ID. Actually, here we'll enter a bit more data, more letters, and just the asterisks. So see what happens when we click continue. The system won't even show like a list of values, because the system has already checked, and only one is fulfilling, only one set is fulfilling our parameter that we enter with the wildcard. So it's immediately here for us. So let's just continue, and that's it. We now have both of the definitions, the condition for the revenue accounts and the condition for the materials. Both of them should be true, so the substitution will happen. So well, for us, after we have seen this, let's just click here on our rule, and actually let's save the definition of our rule. Actually, as you can see here in the content of the rule, we have like a preview of the full condition that we selected for the rule, and that is exactly what we needed. So let's just save it. The ABAP generation will start the generation of the code, and when the system finishes, it will just say save and generation successfully completed. So that is it for us. We can just quit this screen, and with this we have finished this lesson. Of course, inviting you to keep learning with the next lessons.